If you are an anime fan like me, then you know that feeling, that constant urge to find something special, not just good, not just entertaining, but something extraordinary, something you can confidently call a masterpiece, or everyone says nowadays, peak cinema. And the harder you look, the rarer it feels because a lot of shows are fun, a lot of shows are hype, but very few stay with you, very few change you. And in the middle of that search, I found FRIEREN. FRIEREN Beyond Journey's End, a fantasy action adventure anime written by Kanehito Yamada, illustrated by Tsukasa Abe, and beautifully adapted by Madhouse Studio. Right now, it's the talk of the town. Everyone is watching it, everyone is praising it. But why? Why is everyone calling FRIEREN the best anime in the recent years? Is it because they perfectly followed every rule of the fantasy genre? The heroic journey, the party formation, the final battle? Is that why? No, it's exactly the opposite. FRIEREN became special because it did something very few stories have the courage to do. It broke the rules. And we won't go too deep into it because spoilers alert, but the very first thing you will notice in episode 1 is the beginning. It's how they start the very first episode and how different it feels from almost every fantasy anime or movie you have ever seen. Most fantasy stories start with a call to adventure, a young hero, a looming threat, a destiny waiting to unfold. FRIEREN doesn't do that. It starts after the adventure is already over. The Demon King has already been defeated, the legendary journey has already happened, the heroes have already won. We are not watching the rise of a legend, we are watching what comes after it. And that small decision changes everything. FRIEREN hits you from the very first episode, not with action, not with hype, but with something heavier, time. It introduces real, uncomfortable themes immediately. The relationship between human life and time, the regret of not trying when you had the chance, the pain of realizing something mattered only after it's gone. That kind of pain. And we see all of this through FRIEREN's perspective. An elf over 1,000 years old, to her 50 years meant nothing, a short wave, a blink, but to humans, that's a lifetime. And that difference, that gap in perception is where the story begins. FRIEREN does not understand human emotions at first. She does not understand attachment. She does not understand why 10 years together could mean everything to someone because to her it's just like a short trip because time moves differently for her. But for the people around her, no. Time is fragile, limited, precious. And when she finally realizes what those moments meant, it's already too late. That regret, that quiet suffocating regret, is what makes FRIEREN powerful. Not because it screams its message, but because it lets you sit with it. And maybe, just maybe, it reminds you of moments in your own life, moments you thought were small until they were gone. Now, I don't want this video to become too heavy because honestly, I can't explain these themes the way FRIEREN does. I can talk about time, I can talk about regret, human life, and perspective, but FRIEREN presents these ideas with such a quiet beauty, with such subtle perfection, that it's something you have to experience yourself. Not to analyze, not overthink, just experience. So, if you haven't watched FRIEREN yet, go watch it. And don't force yourself to love it, just let it sit with you. And in the next video, we will talk about how FRIEREN breaks so many fantasy genre rules and why that's exactly what makes it special. So, stay tuned.